Want to see a dead rat? Story 4. Who knows where the time goes? Across the distant sky, all the birds are winging, but how can they know it's time for them to go? In the 7th grade, I form an armada with two fellow seafarers, Luke and Mikhail. They're cool, funny, and irreverent, so I know the course we chart has got to be good, right? And there's 3 of us, so what could go wrong? Luke is a slight Irish-American lad with slick black hair, always well coiffed, a forehead curl, and a boyish freckled smile. Even in grade school, he is the master of the style we referred to as greaser. Tight black pants, black shoes, and a pair of lucky strikes rolled up in his Cuban collar short sleeve shirt. But really, I knew him then as a very gentle boy. Mikhail is a fair-haired Polish-American boy. In the study of cool, we are at the top of the class. As is expected of the cool kids, we are often in trouble, mostly for not demonstrating proper respect for, well, anything. We're on the basketball team, and while we're good enough to play, none of us is particularly good. Neither is the team or the coach. We pretend to be tough little buccaneers, but really only get as far as the dress code. We hitchhike to North Avenue Beach, smoke the Luckies, try alcohol, get into a few scrapes with other wannabe tough guys, run away from a few more, talk about cars, and pursue the most important of our newfound passion, girls, and the curves, peaks, and valleys of yet undiscovered lands which we innately sense will be wondrous and terrifying. We never go to each other's homes. On the cusp of puberty, we have fatal allergies to family scrutiny. Luke lives on the 3rd floor of an apartment building next to the church. One Saturday morning before a game, I knock on his back door. He hurriedly emerges, buttoning his shirt. I catch a glimpse of his father standing in a small, cluttered, and unclean kitchen, pouring whiskey into a coffee cup. He is also slight and also with black hair, wearing a dingy, torn, sleeveless T-shirt and boxer shorts, a cigarette jutting from an unshaven jaw. Luke quickly closes the door. I never see his father or his home again. Sad, deserted shore, your youthful friends are leaving. Ah, but then you know it's time for them to go. When I'm not busy working on my cool with Luke and Mikhail, I visit the library a lot. I also often sit on the floor listening while my older brothers, Bill and Joe, discuss their college studies. Occasionally they ask my opinion. Paul, read this. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So what do you think, Paul? I don't say it, but I think, wow, there's a place where you can go where they teach you this stuff? I give a credible answer for a 12-year-old, and they commend me as much as older brothers are allowed to. And world's ending? I'll learn more about that in a few years. But in the meantime, I have learned that other worlds, fascinating worlds, imaginative and imaginary worlds exist, and that I can explore these. I asked Bill for recommendations. The next afternoon, he tosses The Old Man and the Sea, The Red Pony, and The Oxbow Incident on my bed, and I am off like a whirlaway. In the coming years, I read all of Steinbeck. Don't really care for Hemingway, too macho. Fall in love with the Brits and the Russians, Jane Austen, Sylvia Plath, and Joan Didion. All brilliant, fearless, often tragic explorers of the mind. Luke and I attend the same high school. St. Betcha never saw this coming Catholic school, where he joins the first string team of real greasers. Mikhail attends another Catholic high school. We drift apart. Rule: Be adventurous, but know when to seek safe harbor. Coming home from a high school dance on a Friday night, I see Luke on the same bus. He is stumble drunk. He waves to me, I wave, but say nothing, and I take a seat away from him. At 15, I am not real gracious or heroic, frightened mostly. His ship is sinking, and I have no life preserver to throw him. He becomes a Chicago policeman and marries young. When he is 23, he comes home late one night, drunk, again, and beats his wife again. She gets to his service revolver and shoots him dead in the face. He had 3 children. I'm guessing their friends never visited their home either. I encounter Mikhail in the lobby of the Rehabilitation Institute of Chicago years later. He is quadriplegic from an accident incurred while driving, drunk. I suggest we have lunch. He declines. 4. Who knows where the time goes? Who knows where the time goes? I sail on. After high school, I enrolled in pre-medicine at Loyola University. Why pre-medicine? Psychiatry. The idea of exploring the mind fascinates me. Why Loyola? It's a Jesuit school, which I believe will be more intellectually challenging. My friend Carl also matriculates there, the most industrious and intelligent student at my high school, destined for greatness. He dies of leukemia before he graduates. I become enamored with Mary Margaret Dorsey. She is devoutly Catholic. I no longer am, and I am a little too adventurous for her. She also dies before graduating, also of leukemia. So, even if you chart a prudent course, I take a class in Death of God theology. The Jesuit priest is less than thrilled with the title and subject of my paper. Is God dead? ? I don't care, period. I reason that the God of Catholicism is not my co-pilot, and I am through with Loyola. In 1969, I transfer into journalism at Northwestern. Why journalism? I kind of like reading and writing. And I take a job as a psychiatric aide at Mount Sinai Hospital. In November, I set sail on a pleasure cruise. That is, I hop a Greyhound bus to visit my high school friend, Ron Beaumont, now a student at the University of Illinois Champaign. He's got tickets to the Rolling Stones concert. I never make it there. As a rule, if you're going to take a trip, know your destination and how to get back home.